Okay. Uh, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good evening to all of the students. Welcome to the class CBM 705, Inventive Technologies for Construction. So we are about to begin the first topic, and this topic is only a sharing, and it is not a required topic for assignment, just for knowledge sharing. So maybe some of you may have a more input than me. So I just consider it as a sharing knowledge lah. So the real topic that will be tested in your assignment will be topic 2 when we have the replacement classroom on on Sunday 12th of April 2026, which is started at 8 a.m. in the morning until to 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, so for not further ado with the content, I would like to share the content itself. Okay, so this is the topic. So the topic will be introductions and some overview of the current trend that exists in our construction technology. So in the recent years, maybe in the 10 years before, we are inundated by technologies that is getting complicated and getting better for our constructions. So in this topic, we would like to discuss about it. And in terms of several scope of outcomes, so we would like to give you some understandings on the evolutions of the construction technology. So if we know the evolution, then we can appreciate the emerging technologies coming to the construction and how does it impact the modern construction, the modern construction practice in terms of efficiency. Biasanya kita akan lebih kepada faktor faktor how efficient it is and safety. So usually these are the two parameters that will measure the performance of the any tools or any construction technology coming to the construction. And some of the technology that we can consider will be building information modeling, where we use our resources effectively among the contractors, among the architects, among the engineers, and so on. And the implementation of IoT, Internet of Things. Internet of Things are getting importance in the constructions. And if you still remember, maybe there is a campaign to create a smart site. Smart site. I think CIDB, the campaign, try to convert our traditional site to a smart site by using IoT. And there are also another available technology called as 3D printing. 3D printing in order to reduce the material for our construction lah, so that we can have a sustainable construction project. Okay, so these all technology are very important in order to optimize the workflows and also the construction quality lah, improving the construction quality overall. And we also I like to share also some discussion about the automation practices, where you mechanize some of the tools from traditional practice, such as the usage of robotics, the usage of the artificial intelligence, and some other of technology that will enhance the productivity of the construction, the safety factor, and to manage the resource management so that it can be within the construction project budgets. And we also try to include the emerging technologies such as the virtual reality. So this is usually used for monitoring and monitoring projects, and also try to do the non-destructive tests or non-destructive results of the concrete. So we will use this VR and AR, augmented reality. So some of the tools, such as from PROSEC, they are used for testing the quality of the material. They do it by using augmented reality. So they will map the surface inside the concrete by virtually. So you don't have to dig the concrete itself, but you see the concrete virtually. That is the technique of VR and AR. Oh, makin ramai masuk. And also AI-driven project management. So in terms of project management, you have a lot of data. You have a lot of data, and this data can be engineered ataupun can be artificial intelligence, can be processed, can be model, so that the input of the data can be used for improving the future construction lah. So especially in the collaboration activities and risk mitigation among the parties. So those are the learning outcome lah yang kita touch in this topic. Saya cuma nak tanya, ada berapa banyak student sebenarnya yang masuk sebab bila saya tengok attendance tu cuma 2 orang aja. Mungkin ada pelajar yang masih lagi tak boleh akses apa benda ni, U-Future. So yang boleh akses tu just tick from U-Future. Sebab saya tengok ada 2 nama, Nordliana dengan Jason kot rasanya. Jalan Jason. So kalau maksudnya mereka 2 orang tu dah boleh akses, yang lain tu tidak boleh akses lah. So tak apa, nanti Dr. Siti akan selesaikan masalah attendance lah. Sebab attendance ni very important for untuk melayakkan anda lulus kursus, mesti ada at least 80% of the attendance. Tetapi kalau kata attendance tu disebabkan oleh sistem, maksudnya anda boleh dikecualikan lah. Cuma kena beritahu saya lah siapa yang mengalami masalah sistem tak boleh take attendance. So for satu pesanan lah daripada saya. Okay. Okay, so we are talking about this one, and so on. Okay, so we start with the topic itself, the introduction about the construction technology. So we may have to appreciate what are the tools that we are using nowadays, where we are using the traditional ways of doing construction. So we are using machinery, we are using software, and so on. And some of the machine, and I think all of the machine in Malaysia, some of it are still in the traditional form. So we need to transform this technology so that it can be acting as a highly advanced software ataupun highly automated software, automated machine, so that it can improve the quality of construction activities. And why this is needed? Because it's important. It is important in terms to reduce some of the parameters such as the human error. So we need to have kalau boleh zero error in terms of human, or maybe we want to increase the current efficiency. So maybe you are using certain tools. The tools are not so good in terms of percentage of performance. So by using emerging technology, you can increase the performance of it. And other than that, we also want to have sustainability. Susah nak menyebut. Sustainability in the construction project. So this is a new concept towards to 2030, where we like to reduce the carbon emission in the project. We like to reduce the usage of the material. Macam bahan bakar sekarang pun dah mahal sebab perang teluk kan, perang di Asia Barat. So the diesel are coming very, very high. So we don't want to highly dependent on this bahan bakar lah. So we like to use alternative system. So maybe by using electric as a new energy to replace the bahan api lah. And other than that, we want to have a modern building that can be constructed in terms of time, which is much more faster lah, and as well as at a lower cost. Tapi sekarang ni saya rasa disebabkan oleh bahan api dah meningkat, kemungkinan nak turun kos tu tak mungkin lah buat masa ni. So maybe after 2-3 weeks announced by the Donald Trump, maybe the perang akan tamat. So hopefully the episode of that bahan api akan berakhir lah. And the digital printing sudah ada dalam industri modern ni construction. So it will support the sustainability lah of construction project by using less waste. They are generating less waste, kurang bahan apa ni? Kurang bahan digunakan lah. Kurang bahan digunakan untuk pembinaan because of the precise material usage lah. So biasa dia akan gunakan printing yang telah diprogramkan, has been programmed by certain programmers. So by using that program, it will utilize the material efficiently lah, less waste. So this is supporting the sustainability punya campaign by local authority, local authority. And the implementation also IoT, Internet of Things. You will also manage the energy in the real time. So we can monitor. Biasanya IoT ni adalah internet lah. Kita ada internet yang mana kita akan cantumkan dengan sensor. Contoh sensor yang paling mudah sekali adalah kamera. Kamera. So by using camera plus with the IoT, we can manage the by real time the energy usage. We can monitor how many people at site and so on, and we can reduce the energy intake lah. So this is also supporting the campaign of sustainability. And as I said before, BIM is also good. Why? Because it is optimizing the kepakaran, tenaga pakar yang ada. We sharing the same material and so on, so we reduce hanky-panky data lah in terms of data management. So that is the importance why we need to use new construction technologies to replace the traditional activities. Okay, types of construction technologies, as I said before, we still have in Malaysian environment traditional construction system, whereas we are meaning that kita gunakan tenaga manusia lah. Maksudnya kalau kita buat bricklaying tu masih lagi kita gunakan kongsi. Kita masih lagi ada kongsi di tapak, kita masih menggunakan tangan, kita masih menggunakan basic tools, and meaning that all are using human. So this practice is bukanlah kata tidak bagus, tetapi we afraid it can lead to the error by human, and also the in terms of safety. Sebab kalau katakan kita boleh replace this system by using machine, so if let's say have berlaku kemalangan pun, so the machine all yang akan terlibat lah, tidak manusia. So maybe in Malaysia the time of having this technology is still in consideration, and hopefully it can be a practice that can be used in the future. Okay, examples of traditional construction method, as I said before, contohnya bricklaying. Bricklaying done by human being lah, done by our worker, a semi skill and also skilled labor will do that. Even though the concrete mix has been done by hand mix, so ada juga yang pakai mesin, ada juga yang pakai manusia lah. Biasa kalau yang kat kampung tu masih lagi pakai manusia lah. And wooden scaffolding to brace our concrete structure which is in the wet condition. are still used in smaller project and specific project, but this practice will be largely replaced in the future by mechanized method lah in the modern construction. Okay, so the apa ni, uh, apa ni benda yang yang tradisional ni, perkataan lawan dia adalah modern construction lah. Perkataan lawan dia adalah modern construction, and this modern construction will integrate a lot of things lah. Yang mana you must have a very skillful staff in order to operate into the system. Kita ada banyak sistem lah. Kita ada drone system to monitor, to do a lot of work of pemantauan, beam technologies. So beam technology is not an easy task. It must be done by a skillful staff. 3D printing also. Why? Because we need to program the machine. So we need to have a very skillful staff in order to program. So if let's say those apa ni cabaran can be eliminated, so we can have a very modern construction technologies yang akan memudahkan kita lah di masa depan. Di masa depan, example of the modern construction methods, saya rasa precast concrete ni biasalah. Prefab ni pun biasa, tak adalah katakan sebagai benda yang jarang berlaku, tapi biasa berlaku. And also the most advanced part is the autonomous construction machinery lah. So meaning that our construction is done by machine yang acting autonomous, meaning that by not supervised by human, it will be only monitored by computer program by the skillful people to operate it. Okay, so this is the benefit of construction, modern construction technology. First of all, for sure, it increase the efficiency, kecekapan, and also the productivity lah. So for sure, all teknologi yang kita dapat ni adalah untuk mempercepatkan productivity dan juga menambah efisiensi lah, meningkatkan efisiensi. Contohnya, we have drones. So drones, let's say we are monitoring a very large area of sites. So kalau kita nak monitor menggunakan mata biasa, so kita kena inspect dari satu point to satu point. That will be time consuming. And by using drone, we can monitor, we can install camera, and we get the overall picture of the site. So we can get the overview within maybe less than 30 minutes, rather than berjam menggunakan mata manusia atau kamera yang dibawa oleh manusia. And this drone also can be collaborated with the IoT, because IoT can streamline the data where the data is being collected. And usually IoT ni gunakan untuk monitoring lah, monitoring. Contohnya macam kita nak monitor the construction progress of certain activity lah. Contohnya kawasan tu kita tengok berapa lama dia boleh disiapkan konkrit tu. And then that data yang kita kata tadi, data yang collected tu can be used menggunakan topik 2 saya, iaitu gunakan ANN untuk predict the next progress of the construction. Itu yang bagusnya, so that we can have a predictive punya results of that monitoring of the project. And this will be reducing the human error lah. So human error in terms of doing the prediction. And second part is to the modern construction technology is bringing the enhanced safety and reduce risk. So for sure, by using robots, we reduce the work, the need to use workers, especially for dangerous activities ataupun dangerous tasks, such as kalau katakan kita gunakan untuk chemical punya handling, sometimes, or maybe ataupun kalau kata memasang benda pada tempat yang tinggi, so we can ask the robot to do that. So in terms of Malaysia, this is not yet the level. This is maybe done in the overseas, where they are replacing human by using robot. So environmental sustainability punya kelestarian kan, kelestarian alam sekitar. So yang ni merupakan satu aim lah oleh kerajaan tempatan dan juga local authorities, where we dream to have a zero emission of carbon. Okay, we have a green construction technologies. We can have a very energy efficient, so that if let's say we use our concrete does not pollute the environment. Maybe concrete tu boleh kita campurkan dengan bahan-bahan tertentu in order to create a very high-tech material lah, to reduce carbon footprint for construction project. So this is the benefit of modern construction technologies. Okay. So what is the trend? So the trend nowadays, the rise of the BIM. So saya rasa BIM ni memang sudah ada pasaran di Malaysia lah. And this is applicable to certain project yang bernilai, saya pun tak pasti berapa juta baru boleh start gunakan BIM. Project tu boleh dikenaki oleh BIM. And there is also the need of the 3D printing. Okay. Some automation activities and AI-driven project management. So ada trend yang sudah nampaknya berlaku di luar kepentingan teknologi yang sebegini. So contohnya adalah drones, seperti saya kata tadi, untuk site monitoring. Okay. Artificial intelligence in design. So sometimes I can see there are some software nowadays, they are embedding AI dalam design. Contohnya in the reinforced concrete design, so the engineer does not need anymore to think what is the size of the column, what is the size of the slab, what is the size of the footing and so on, or parquet, whatever. So they just only use a software that propose intelligently the size of the member. So this will be reducing the needs of skillful engineer, where the system can be used by the junior engineer. Tapi kena supervise lah, because junior engineers pun dia kena ada pertimbangan tentang reka bentuk. And also the virtual realities training, for training and planning. So we can use virtual reality for management training. So we can create a scenario virtually on site, and then we act on that event. So this is a new tools yang digunakan untuk memperbaiki projek-projek di tapak, sebab ni adalah merupakan satu trend. Dan kita di sini sepatutnya memerhati trend ni dan mengambil tahu kenapa trend ini diguna pakai di luar negara, dan mungkin nanti satu masa lagi akan masuk lah. So saya rasa macam drone sudah masuk, okay. Virtual reality belum masuk lagi, and AI is still coming to the Malaysia lah. AI punya dalam design. Okay, we talk about with the building information modeling, BIM. Okay, so BIM adalah is a system where we create and manage our digital information. Okay, so digital information in the construction project, and that information will be shared among the parties. So biasanya selalunya kita gunakan contoh yang macam arkitek, dia ada data dia sendiri. Structural engineers, dia ada data dia sendiri. Okay, so why not we collaborate that so that we can use the same information efficiently. So maksudnya tidak ada lagi data yang berbeza-beza formatnya. And then we can also do clash detection by using BIM. So it can reduce the error of the design and also improve coordination among the teams yang terlibat. So ini saya rasa saya bagi ada satu video. Hopefully it can be run. Then this is about building information modeling. Just a very basic video lah. So hopefully you can see.
The BIM Minute. Not so long ago, building a world of harmony came with quite a few twists. Lengthy parts, accuracy, interpretations, misunderstandings, and sometimes surprises. But times have changed. There's no ding with the BIM. The Building Information Modeling helps each stakeholder, client, architect, expert, and end user of a project to share the same vision from the design to the usage of a building. BIM with 3 M's for model, modeling, and management. Model, thanks to a 3-dimensional digital mock-up displaying details on every single component's feature. Managing, thanks to a structured layout that follows every step of the project's life cycle. Modifying and improving the project together with all its stakeholders thanks to this brand new joint multi-displayed process. With BIM, construction enlivens the ways of designing, constructing and operating efficient buildings and infrastructures, fulfilling the customers' and end users' expectations.
Okay, that is a short video giving you some more or less building information modeling. So that video does not give you a very informative knowledge, but just give you what is the building information modeling in general form only lah. So kalau kata you nak baca lebih lanjut, you boleh rujuk pada teks ataupun nanti bila Dr. Zul masuk, he will talk about the BIM. So dia akan berbincang pasal benda ni lah lebih detail lagi. So ini secara ringkas lah. So this is another emerging technology, 3D printing construction. It's a technology that used in creating a building by 3D printing. So di sini maksudnya kita akan gunakan satu printer. It's a printer that try to create the element of the structure. So the system will be done layer by layer. Okay, and there is a benefit of 3D printing. For sure, it will be reduce the time of the construction and reduce the material waste. Sebab dia akan gunakan material itu very very careful. Dia akan kira, and it will increase design flexibility lah. So there is a video about this one, and then this is from CIDB. So CIDB they collaborate with certain universities to create a pilot project lah. So maksudnya ini masih lagi project pilot. It's not a full scale, but it is a small scale of 3D printing punya event. So maybe we can have a look about the 3D printing.
Assalamualaikum, hai, saya Ani Mizati. Anda sedang menonton segmen berita CIDB TV. Hari ini saya dan tim CIDB TV berada di Kuala Lumpur bagi mengikuti lawatan tapak projek teknologi 3D printing yang dilakukan di Jalan Chan Sow Lin, Kuala Lumpur. Lawatan tapak projek teknologi 3D printing ini adalah bertujuan bagi meninjau pelaksanaan dan transformasi industri pembinaan negara berkembang maju selaras dengan pendigitalan dan teknologi terkini. Melalui inisiatif teknologi 3D printing ini, ia sekaligus dilihat sebagai sebuah mekanisme penting dalam memberi pendekatan kepada industri pembinaan agar sentiasa ke hadapan dalam penggunaan teknologi di samping meningkatkan produktiviti pembinaan serta merealisasikan matlamat-matlamat yang digariskan di bawah pembinaan revolusi industri 4.0. Turut hadir ketika lawatan tapak projek teknologi 3D printing pada hari ini ialah Menteri Kanan Kerja Raya Malaysia, Datuk Seri Fadilah Yusof, serta Ketua Eksekutif CIDB, Datuk Insinyur Ahmad Asri Abdul Hamid.
Di mana rumah dibuat dengan cara printing. Ni kita cetak macam cetak rumah dan menggunakan teknologi daripada Eropah lah. Saya rasa langkah kita sekarang ini adalah untuk membuat penyelidikan bagi menyesuaikan kegunaan 3D printing tersebut di pasaran tempatan. Sebab itulah kita mengambil masa untuk membina rumah contoh tersebut kerana kita nak memastikan bahawa bahan-bahan yang kita gunakan itu adalah bahan-bahan yang ada di pasaran tempatan dan seterusnya resepi ataupun mixture yang kita gunakan tu bersesuaian dengan pembinaan tersebut.
Justru Banglo bagi memacu penerapan sistem CIDB melalui anak syarikatnya CIDB IBS Sdn Bhd dan Construction Research Institute of Malaysia (CRIM) telah memeterai sebuah memorandum persefahaman bersama-sama dengan sebuah syarikat pengendali teknologi 3D printing iaitu KA Bina Consultancy Group bagi memperkasakan penggunaan 3D printing di dalam industri pembinaan di Malaysia. Antara inisiatif yang dikendalikan menerusi memorandum persefahaman ini adalah seperti pembinaan rumah contoh yang berasaskan teknologi 3D printing.
Rumah yang kita buat pada hari yang you boleh lihat kat belakang ni adalah rumah banglo bersaiz 1,200 ke 1,300 square feet. Ada some slight adjustment lah sebab tu dia ni sikit. Satu story dan kita menggunakan konsep load bearing wall ataupun double wall layer wall jugalah. Ada 2 layer wall dan ada cavity di tengah-tengah untuk meletakkan services dan sebagainya lah.
Selain itu, program penyelidikan dan pembangunan R&D berkaitan 3D printing turut dilaksanakan bagi membolehkan 3D printing ini dapat dikembangkan dengan meluas penggunaannya di dalam industri pembinaan.
Dari sudut KA Bina pun komitmen kita untuk membawa masuk teknologi ini, membawa masuk knowledge ini, kita telah pun menandatangani MOU bersama UTHM, UM pun on the way, Harriet Ward pun on the way. So kita nak bawa masuk institusi-institusi pendidikan ini bersama-sama untuk memahami teknologi ini as well as untuk accommodate lah this transfer of technology. Sebab pemikiran kita transfer of teknologi ni terbaik kalau kita boleh berikan kepada institusi pendidikan dahulu. So apa yang kita lihat juga menggunakan teknologi 3D construction printing ini, we are digitalizing the construction industry. Bermaksud kita nak menggerakkan daripada normal manual labor ke digitalize punya era of construction industry.
Melalui penggunaan 3D printing ini, ia sekaligus dapat menjadikan industri pembinaan ke arah penggunaan teknologi dan inovasi yang berimpak tinggi, mempertingkatkan produktiviti pembinaan dan seterusnya mengimbangi ekosistem teknologi sistem IBS di Malaysia.
Pengurangan benda-benda lain adalah dari segi pekerja asing tadi. Misalnya kita mengurangkan keperluan bilangan pekerja dan itu maknanya kosnya akan berkurang dan kita punya produktiviti pun lebih baik.
Di samping peningkatan produktiviti yang memberangsangkan, industri pembinaan dijangka dapat menyumbang kepada pertumbuhan ekonomi negara sekaligus membuka peluang untuk mencapai kecekapan yang lebih tinggi. Walau bagaimanapun, sasaran ini hanya akan dapat dicapai melalui kerjasama dan komitmen semua pihak. Dengan itu, sekian sahaja dari saya Anmi Zati. Jumpa lagi. #Bina Sempurna, kita jaga kita, teguh kita, menang bersama.
Okay, there is a very long clip lah, video about the 3D printing lah. So you boleh tampak kat situ ada usaha-usaha dari kerajaan lah to collaborate with the universities to introduce this technology lah to our industry. Okay, so this is the drones. So this is also another technology. Saya rasa dah bersepah dah teknologi ni. Drone is construction sebab dia very light and very easy to maneuver. So usually we use the drones to perform aerial surveillance, especially for landslide. Overview, kita nak tengok landslide tu macam mana di atas kan. And then we perform surveying and monitoring the construction sites lah. So usually monitoring on construction site ni biasa kita gunakan kamera lah. Tapi by using droning, meaning that we have a very mobile camera, so we can ask the drone to go one place to one place and take the photos or videos to monitor the activities of the people inside the site. And the benefit will be that the data collection will be much improved because the data is taken by recording the activities. Okay, and in terms of inspection, is good because we can perform much more safer activities of inspection, and it's a real time lah. So maksudnya bila kita ambil itu memang real time project updates lah. So this video saya tunjukkan adalah video that use drones combined with the an equipment that we call as ground penetrating radar. This equipment will be used to inspect the pipes location inside the soil. So maksudnya dia tidak korek soil itu, tetapi dia gunakan drones dan dia bawa GPR untuk scan tanah. So kita tengok video ni dan kita enjoy the video, the drones in construction. Okay, there is one example of drone in the detection of pipes inside the soil. So inside the video, you can see that the drones will carry two different GPR frequencies lah. So one is the smaller one, the smaller frequencies, and another one is the higher frequencies lah. So why they are carrying two different frequencies? Because they want to compare the result lah. Sebab bila katakan kita nak detect pipe tu, kita nak pastikan bahawa dengan apakah frekuensi yang sesuai. So that's why they are using two different GPR. And from that GPR punya radiogram, dia punya gambar it can be seen that a very clear pipes existent lah at about certain depth inside the soil. So that is the application of drones lah. Maybe in terms of finding the utilities. Okay, so another emerging technology that also in the construction is IoT, Internet of Things. So Internet of Things in construction meaning that you are connecting the physical device, maksudnya sensor lah, and also the internet, so that it can allows real-time data collections and also real-time monitoring. So dekat sini kita kena ada bekalan internet lah dekat tapak bina. So maksudnya kita kena pasang internet yang kuat, yang stable, and then we connect the internet to the devices. Yang paling mudah sekali device ni adalah kamera. So that camera can be operated by internet. So they can monitor lah. Okay, what is the benefit of IoT? So as I said before, is for monitoring. So monitoring ni boleh menjadi macam-macam lah. Boleh jadi equipment monitoring, boleh jadi human monitoring, boleh jadi project monitoring, boleh jadi progress monitoring dan sebagainya. So selain daripada itu juga, dia boleh mewujudkan satu alert lah, safety alerts about an event. So maybe kita boleh tengok orang pakai topi keselamatan dengan tak pakai topi keselamatan di tapak. So dia akan create alerts lah, and then the supervisor can monitor and beri arahan lah supaya pakai topi keselamatan contohnya. And also resource tracking. So di sini saya rasa ada satu video yang tak tahu lah boleh buka atau tidak. Okay, this is a video that perform monitoring on the equipment on site. And also, it is monitoring also the number of workers at site. Ini boleh nampak tu. And then, selain daripada itu juga, yang monitor ni adalah kamera lah. Ada kamera yang connected to internet. And then, dia boleh detect juga sama ada orang yang di tapak tu pakai helmet ke atau tidak. Pakai helmet keselamatan tidak. Topi keselamatan. So, it can detect. It can detect. So, nampak bila dah warna merah tu, maksudnya ada isu kat situ lah. Dia punya bounding box tu, dia akan trigger event, dan dia akan hantar maklumat tu kepada supervisor. So that is one of the kegunaan IoT lah di tapak. So kita boleh nampak saja berapa banyak worker, is there any PPP alert, no issues and so on, and what is the condition of the equipment and so on. So that is the first video. And second one is about what? Kita tengok. Okay, this is a gate, a virtual gate. Yang warna merah tu bukannya gate sebenar di tapak, is a virtual gate. So when the lorry coming to the site, the virtual gate will scan the lorry, and then dia akan scan apakah nombor plate lorry tersebut, kan? Berapa banyak lori yang masuk keluar dan masuk dan keluar, okay? And then it recording the time of the arrival. So meaning it can record lah. It can record the kenderaan yang luar masuk lah untuk kegunaan tertentu di tapak. So this is ni boleh tentukan apakah kategori lori, dump truck ke, lori kecil ke, and so on. So this is very useful lah in order to classify the cars coming inside to the construction site. And this is the third video. I think what is that? Okay, this is a video that is recording the progress of work. So you boleh nampak situ ada kawasan yang berwarna oranye, ada kawasan yang berwarna biru. Yang kawasan warna oranye tu maksudnya kawasan yang ada riba, ada riba. Yang warna biru tu yang kawasan yang tidak ada riba. So you can record the progress ataupun berapa banyak percentage of work yang telah complete about riba and also concrete. So that is the benefits of using IoT lah. So menggunakan kamera saja pun dah cukup banyak dah. So ada macam-macam sensor lah selain daripada kamera lah. Yang saya biasanya ada tunjukkan kamera untuk IoT device. Okay, automations and robotics also another tools that is used and gaining high trend. Okay. So usually kita nak replace human work lah. Automation ni biasa kita nak replace human work. Sebab itu ramai orang berkata ataupun ramai pendapat mengatakan bahawa manusia akan hilang kerja sebab digantikan oleh robots. Tapi that is not true lah. So some of the activities still needs human works. But and some activities that is maybe dangerous and so on may be replaced by the robots. So robots can be used for bricklaying. Kerja-kerja yang leceh lah, kerja-kerja yang memerlukan ketelitian, bricklaying, welding, and lifting heavy material lah. That will the automation process will enhance the process, such as the resource location and scheduling. And the benefit of automation, for sure, it will improve the efficiency, the resource precision, and also safety. While doing the labor cost, and this is reducing the labor cost lah. So di sini saya ada satu video yang menunjukkan tentang how the robots doing the bricklayer, and this is not in the Malaysia lah, this is in the overseas lah, luar negara. So kita tengok.
A bricklaying robot has broken its own record, laying 200 bricks in just 1 hour. Meet the Hadrian X. The machine is made by an Australian company called Fast Brick Robotics, or FBR for short. For reference, human bricklayers typically lay 300 to 500 bricks per day, with the record being an astonishing 914 bricks in just 1 hour. The Hadrian X's 200 bricks per hour may sound slow in comparison, but it's not using ordinary bricks. These are made special for the Hadrian X by FBR, and they're 12 times larger than standard house bricks. FBR says that its specially made bricks are lighter, stronger, and will minimize waste. But the Hadrian X isn't limited to these special bricks. It can also be used with standard bricks in a range of different sizes. The adhesive that joins the bricks is also an FBR original, drying and setting in 45 minutes as opposed to mortar, which can take 1 to 2 days to set. To compensate for wind, vibrations, and other natural disturbances which may disrupt the bricklaying process, the Hadrian X uses something called dynamic stabilization technology to remain steady and precise. For ease of transport, the Hadrian X is seen here mounted to a truck, but FBR says that its bricklaying robot could also be mounted to boats, barges, cranes, and more. FBR's website claims that the Hadrian X could build the walls of a home in 1 to 3 days, and that each robot could build the walls of 100 to 300 homes a year in the right conditions. Human technicians and operators are needed to set up and feed bricks into the Hadrian X, but once it's up and running, it is fully autonomous, using 3D models to guide its brick placement. The Hadrian X bricklaying robot isn't commercially available yet, but this bricklaying robot is. Meet the SAM 100, made by Construction Robotics. This 3,000-pound semi-automated mason was the first commercially available bricklaying robot and has been laying bricks on construction sites for a few years now. The SAM 100 is primarily used for what is called veneer masonry, meaning these bricks aren't going to be holding up the weight of the structure being built. Like the Hadrian X, the SAM 100 works off a 3D model, but unlike the Hadrian X, the SAM 100 only works in straight lines, with human masons placing the bricks on the corners. The SAM 100 usually works in conjunction with 3 to 4 people, but that number can vary depending on the specifics of the job. The SAM100 works with a range of different brick sizes, including standard bricks from 8 to 12 inches, as well as cut bricks down to just 4 inches. If you've got a project that requires larger building blocks, Construction Robotics has a machine for that too, called the Mule. The Mule's lift assist technology aims to help construction workers lift large blocks between 135 and 150 pounds with ease. And unlike the SAM100, the Mule allows masons to place blocks with their own hands, just without the strain of having to lift it themselves. While it is likely that the SAM100 will reduce the number of masons required for a job, Construction Robotics says the goal of this technology is not to replace human workers, but to improve productivity, safety, and health. With all the heavy lifting and specialized knowledge required in the field of masonry, Construction Robotics hopes its technology can help new masons start laying bricks faster and stay healthy longer by protecting them from repetitive stress injuries that can often occur on the job. If you're wondering how much these bricklaying robots cost, the Hadrian X doesn't have pricing information available yet. But you can get pricing info on the SAM100 and Mule machines by contacting Construction Robotics directly over at construction-robotics.com. What do you think of these bricklaying robots? Let us know down below. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'm your host, Jesse Orrell. Stay safe out there, everybody.
Okay, that's the video about the robotics and automation. Okay, so this is another video showing about...
There was a time when futurists were predicting that the advent of 3D printing was going to change our lives, that each of our houses would have a 3D printer to make whatever items we need. What virtually no one...
Yeah. Oh, ni. Okay, never mind. So, saya terbuka tu. Okay, never mind. Okay, kita pergi balik pada kita punya lecture. So, kita stop tadi dekat mana? Kita stop tadi dekat automation and robot. Okay, kita stop dekat sini. Somewhere here. Okay. Okay, so kita teruskan. Saya tak nak buka video ni lah. Saya akan teruskan saja. Okay, so now there's another technology yang agak terkini lah, boleh katakan begini, iaitu VR. VR. So virtual reality. So I think you have gone through to see people who are wearing the glasses, and then they can see virtual environment yang mereka mahu. So the same thing also can be done in construction, where we introduce the environment of the certain event in our construction. So sebelum tu kita bincang what is VR. Okay, so VR is having the benefits of allowing immersive environment atau visualization. So immersive ni maksudnya dia mendalam, mendalam environment, and you terasa bahawa environment tu memang betul-betul sebenar berlaku dalam keadaan reality. Walau benda tu adalah maya. So we allow immersive visualization of construction designs, so enabling teams to explore project in virtual environment before physical works begin. So ini seolah-olah macam training. So maybe we are introduce our people to certain event, maybe katakan keadaan kebakaran. So you can provide that environment of kebakaran, and then you train the people to prepare about the fire lah, dalam fire drill and so on. So macam-macam keadaan lah kita boleh introduce to our staff. And this is as I said before, enhanced training. Betul lah, enhanced training. So we have a better understanding about certain situation in our construction, and due to that we can perform better client presentations. So this is in terms of management is very good lah. Biasa untuk training. So augmented reality, it's almost the same with the virtual reality. Okay, so it allows workers to view project data in real time while on site. So almost the same with the VR, right? And application is to improve accuracy, to enhance collaborations and real-time shooting, real-time troubleshooting. So there is one video about this. Saya rasa tak ada video kot. Oh, ada video.
Sir, tak keluar lah dia punya slide tu.
Oh, kejap. Apa dia saya tak share kan?
Tak share tak?
Saya tak share. Okey, lupa. Saya pun terlupa tak share pun tadi. Sekejap Sebab saya out tadi masa ada video bercakap dia kan. Okey, sekejap. Share. Include sound and so saya akan share balik semula supaya daripada awal. Okey.
Mac 2 is the world's #1 artificial intelligence empowering the end-to-end process for the building and construction industry.
With the voice assistant and chatbot, Mac 2 supports me anytime, anywhere. Hey 2, are there any activities overlapping with HVAC services in the schedule?
Yes, there is an intersection between HVAC duct system and electrical system installation works.
Please show me the intersection from the BIM model. Please adjust the schedule to avoid overlapping.
Schedule is updated.
Thank you, Mac 2. We can also ask Mac 2 via chatbot to match the best building materials from the product catalog. Mac 2 is not only giving the results, but also provides the analyzed report based on these results with price and quality conditions. With this intelligent outcome, the decision maker can easily decide the best products for the project.
Mac 2 is supporting the safety and quality inspection on site with smart guidance. Hey 2, I'm on the 3rd floor. Please show me the inspection checkpoint.
Hi Sergey, please follow the walkway for today's inspection.
Hey 2, Anderson Construction has to repaint the wall on 3rd floor, zone number 2. Added to punch list with due date next Monday.
Issue added. Floor plan highlighted for Anderson Construction.
Hey 2, Walker Engineering has to fix window on the 3rd floor, room number 5. Added to punch list, due date next Tuesday.
Issue added. Due date confirmed.
Hey 2, Walker Engineering has to cover electric duct in technical room on the 3rd floor. Added to punch list with due date next Monday.
Done.
Empowered by mixed reality, Mac 2 can integrate the virtual model with the physical site for precise checking. Hey 2, did we purchase ventilation shaft covers for level 3?
Yes, we did.
Show me the details.
Please see on screen.
Okay, let's take a measurement. I see. There is a defect here. Added to work list for Anderson Construction.
Defect added.
Thank you, Mac 2. Hey 2, can you call Tony?
Hi Sergey, can I help you?
Hi Tony, can you please check the power distribution box for this unit?
Yes, I'm checking from my data. This is the electric diagram. I'm sure this is an incorrect installation.
Yeah, I also think so. Thank you. Okay, see you tomorrow.
See you, Sergey.
Hey 2, create a defect for this AC unit and attach picture of power box to it.
Issue added and assigned to the electric department.
Thank you, Mick2.
The machine learning and deep learning algorithms enable MAC2 to learn from construction big data. Integrated with the artificial neuron network architecture, MAC2 is capable of providing advanced planning, problem solving, reasoning, and perception for the building and construction industry. Running together, we build the future for the next generation.
Okay, so that is the interesting video about MAC2, a virtual reality system that can perform a lot of tasks. Okay, so as a summary, so in actual, we need AI in our construction because there is a demand of the safety monitoring. We need to find our risk of construction in a very fast manner, and we want to manage our project in a more better way. So there is a demand for it, and there is the need in using AI, especially to perform predictive tasks, automation tasks, and also to optimize resources that you use in the construction. Okay, and AI is very useful in the construction because a lot of benefits. So the benefit is to you can perform a better design, and you can plan before the construction starts. Because AI will collect the data from the previous data. So you as a user of the software, if let's say you have to provide the data to the AI system, and AI will try to learn from the data to provide better predictive ataupun better planning to your site ataupun to the projects. And AI is good also for perform ataupun monitoring construction safety, and we can also do the prediction of the risk. So this AI kita akan lihat nanti pada minggu depan, yang mana AI ni dia ada di-embed dalam sistem artificial neural network, ANN, yang kita belajar minggu depan menggunakan software RapidMiner. Nanti kita akan lihat installation of that software lah minggu depan. Okay, so use of AI in the construction quality control. So AI is good for performing quality control, especially in terms of prediction of the data. And AI also is good in the resource management, where we can use AI to tell us what is the mechanism, the best way in order to perform better resource management. And I think in terms of at the end of this subject ataupun this lecture, so I perform one conclusion is that so modern construction technologies enhance efficiency, safety and sustainability, and project management through the innovation such as BIM, artificial intelligence, robotic, and AI. And the future of the construction technology will be likely involve increased automation, smart building materials, and further integration of AI and IoT. So I think that will be the end of our lecture. So we stop 1 hour earlier from the predicted times. So ada apa-apa soalan tak setakat ni sebelum kita end the class? Is there any question? Apa sajalah.
Tak ada, sir.
So minggu depan kita akan masuk kepada topik 2, iaitu terus kita akan masuk kepada artificial neural network. Dia adalah satu topik baru kepada siapa-siapa yang tidak pernah belajar tentang topik ini. Topik ini adalah sedikit nak kata sedikit sukar, taklah sedikit sukar. Tetapi once you dah biasa dengan RapidMiner, then the process is very, very easy. So tujuan kita belajar RapidMiner ataupun ANN adalah kita nak predict the construction parameters by using previous data. So let's say we have a previous data. So we ask the artificial neural network to learn from the data, and they are creating their own pattern. And from that pattern, we use to predict something. Contohnya macam delay of construction, the cost of the construction, and so on. So that will be the focus of our next class in hari Ahad ni. Hari Ahad depan, Ahad depan, 12 hari bulan 4, pukul 8 pagi sehingga pukul 12 lah. InsyaAllah kita akan laksanakan kelas tersebut. Dan kemudian kelas kita kembali balik pada hari Selasa seperti biasa. Ada 2 kali lagi lah. And then kita habis topik saya. Okay. So any questions so far from the students itself? So topik ni bukan topik introduction. Yes, sila.
Sorry sir, nak tanya yang tadi lesson plan CBM 705 tu saya akan kongsi dalam mana Yang macam
Okey, saya akan kongsikan sepatutnya dalam eFuture, sebab eFuture sekarang saya akan masuk dalam WhatsApp lah, WhatsApp group.
Okey, baik.
So insyaAllah saya akan share dalam WhatsApp group. Sebab saya ingatkan eFuture dah okey, sebab dia dah minggu kedua kan. Tak okey lagi lah maksudnya, so saya akan masuk dalam
betul sir. Okey, terima kasih.
Okey, sama-sama. So ada apa-apa soalan lagi tak? Kalau kita tak ada, kita boleh stop saja lecture kita dan kita boleh berehat awal lah. Cuma jangan lupa kelas kita, kelas ganti hari Ahad 12 hari bulan 4. Pukul 8 pagi sehingga pukul 12 tengah hari. So kalau kata kita boleh awal pukul 11, kita akan stop awal nantilah. Bergantung pada situasi. Sebab mungkin masa tu kalau dah belajar NN, semua dah pening sikit, kita stop awal sikit, 1 jam awal. Kemudian kita akan sambung minggu depan, kita akan teruskan perjalanan kita pada lagi 1 minggu lah. Ada apa-apa soalan? This session is being recorded. Semua session lecture saya adalah recorded. Jadi maksudnya kalau siapa-siapa nak dapat recorded version, anda kena masuk dalam MS Team dan download video tersebut. Cuma tempoh untuk download video tu biasanya dia ada tempoh. Sebab lepas tempoh tertentu, video tu akan dipadamkan. Sebab dia melibatkan storage. Jadi UiTM ni dia ada limited punya masa untuk simpan video. Jadi kalau boleh sejurus saja selepas baik lecture ni, cuba you masuk MS Team, you boleh download that video lah. Biasanya dalam masa 2 minggu kot dia ada lagi. Lepas tu dia mungkin padam. Dia akan padam. So ada apa soalan tak? Okay, kalau tak ada apa-apa soalan, saya rasa kita stop dahulu. So saya sudahi dengan tasbih kabirah dan surah Wal-As. Bismillah. Okay, thank you again. So kita jumpa lagi pada